All right, Maplestory guide from level 1 to 140. So, the first thing with this is there is some preparation involved. It does work for both reboot and regular, but there is preparation involved. So the first thing I always do before, if you have a new character, you can do this, and you have other characters. If this is your first character, then it's fine. You can skip the preparation part because you just won't be able to do it, which is all good. Um, First thing I do is transfer 6 mil mesos. Make sure you're transferring it from this side. So I'll transfer 6 mil. That's the first thing, just so I can buy a teleport rock. You don't have to use a teleport rock, but it is helpful. It's easier for me to just like click where I want to go, and I'm just there, right? Like that's just faster. So that's first. Second is gonna be monster park buffs. So I'll transfer in my storage. I just keep them in there just so I don't have to do it, but I'll have gold potions, blue potions, green potions, and red potions, which you get all of these from Monster Park. The gold and the green you always use. The red and the blue you use depending on the character. So if your character uses attack power, you'll use the red. If your character uses magic attack, you'll use the blue. You get them from Monster Park, which I'll show real quick. If you don't know what Monster Park is, you can do it from here, special content, Monster Park, or you can do it from here and you go to the Dimensional Portal. Anyways, basically, just go in here. Then how it works is there's different levels depending on what level you are. You'll get access to more. You always want to do the highest one, but you get rewards. So like as we see here, the main reward for today is mesos. Get rewards from all days. So Saturday and Sunday are the best. And what's going to happen is after you do it, basically you go in there and you kill a bunch of mobs. And you can do it 7 times. So you only can start out doing it twice, but if you go into the cash shop, you'll be able to buy 5 more, and you'll be able to do it five extra times. So you go to game, and you go down to the middle, and it's these Monster Park additional entry tickets. So they're worth they cost 3.5 mil, which they're more than worth it. So you want to buy these every day to do them. I think you'll unlock Monster Park at level 5 or 105. So whenever you're 105, just start doing it. But you buy the 5, you make sure to transfer it from your cash inventory to your item inventory, and then you can do it 7 times per day. So when you do that, I don't have any boxes on me. You'll get these little like Saturday Monster Park box, Sunday Monster Park box. What you want to do, the Sunday ones give you EXP coupons. So all of these right here are from doing Monster Park, but as you can see, they're all untradeable. So I can't give them to my other character. But what you're going to do is you're not going to open the Saturday and Sunday boxes because the Sunday ones guaranteed give you EXP. The Saturday ones have a chance to give you EXP. Saturdays give you everything from other days. So like you have a chance of getting something from any other day, so you have a chance of getting the Sunday ones, which are EXP coupons, right? So you keep the Sunday ones and the Saturday ones in your storage. So if you keep them in your storage, I don't have any in my storage right now, but if you keep them in your storage, what you can do when you get on a new character, you just open them on your storage, so you have the double XP on there. So that's the buffs from Monster Park and the EXP coupons. Budding Sprout as well, so I think I have it in here, or I might have it on my other character, which I can go to real quick. Budding Sprout, basically, when you hit level 30 for the first time and get your second job advancement, you get access to Budding Sprout. You can unlock it. If you hit the guide menu, let's wait for this to load. If you hit the guide menu, which is, for me it's F12, but in here it'll say guide. I think it starts out as F1. If you hit guide menu and you go to, let's see, you go to level content. This, I think it's this one. After you hit 30 and you get your second job, you can claim it. And it's what it is basically. I don't know what exactly it's called, but it's Budding Sprout right here. But it gives you a lot of good stats. And it only lasts 90 days. So if you are using this, I'd recommend using it to level your characters because it makes them so much better off the bat. You get bonus XP, you get like attack, you get all stat, HP and MP that don't really matter, and Star Force, which is super helpful. So that's the second thing. I always just transfer it into my storage so that every character has it whenever they need it. I even I'll use it on my main because it just adds stats. The next one is EXP coupons. So EXP coupons are probably the most helpful thing on this list, other than maybe links and Legion. Um, but I always have some EXP coupons as long as I can get them in here. I think I've been using 2 of these per character that I'm leveling, so I'll use one at level 30 to get me to around like 65, 70, and then I'll use another one at 70 to get me to 100. And then I'll go into how I'm doing the 100 to 140 in a little bit, but there's event stuff that I'm using to help me from 100 to 140. But I'm using 2 basically from 30 to 100. If you have a bunch of them, like if you have an excess of XP coupons, then just use them at will. Like once you run out, just pop another one right away. I don't have a ton, so I'm not like constantly using them. I'm trying to use them at like key intervals when I'm farming an area for like 20 levels or something. But there is a couple places to get them. So first place you can get them is from events. So the current one is the Maple Anniversary, and there's a lot of different things. Events are all pretty similar, so you can kind of like see this and it'll most likely be a thing. But like for example, this Maple Wish Orb, right? There's XP here, XP here, XP here. There's XP coupons right here. These ones are all tradable, so you don't have to worry about doing anything special, right? So you can just grab these, put them in your storage, and then you're good to go. I don't think there's any in here. Yeah, there's none in there. There is XP here, which you could use on 200 plus characters, which is nice. There might be some events that do that. But yeah, this right here. And if you go into most events, there's shops where you can buy daily XP. So like if I go right here for Maple Leaves, which is this is you just get by killing stuff. Usually they're pretty similar in any event, so it's probably the same. There's some currency you can get for killing stuff. If you go to the shop and go to growth, there's XP coupons, right? So I'll use this on the characters. Once I get to level 101, you get access to the event. So you just accept all the quests from your star. You just accept them all. You'd only really have to accept the one for the leaves, but I just accept them all. But you accept it, and then you can get access to these. So like you'll start killing stuff, and you're farming anyways, right? So you'll start killing stuff. Once I get 30 coupon, or once I get like 60, it takes me I think 2 of these to get from like 105 to 141. So I'll wait till I get 60. I'll buy 2. I'll just come here, I'll buy 2, and then I'll pop 1, get to like probably 115, 120, and then I'll pop the other one to get to 141. Yeah, this is another really helpful. So these are untradeable. That's why you have to do it on that character. So once you hit 101, you just accept all the quests, you kill stuff until you have 60 leaves in the bottom or whatever it is for the current event, and then you go buy a couple EXP things. And it's just a really helpful way to do it. The thing about events too is like this one, there's something called a fiesta, which basically I might pop some stuff up on screen. But like if I just go kill some stuff, the fiesta it'll be like something that pops over my head, and I'll get like a map-wide attack, and I'll get extra XP from it too. And when you're a low level, it'll level you up almost like 70-80% or something. Let's see. I just want to see if one can pop up. Let me activate this. This is another like big thing, runes. So you want to start training in rune maps as fast as possible on your new character or your first character. Because rune maps you only get runes at level 30 maps or higher, so the monsters have to be level 30. But down here too as well, you can see the fiesta count, right? So I have 14 out of 20. Here we go, this is a fiesta. So it'll do this map-wide attack. There's a couple different ones, but this will kill everything all that I can see, right? Which is super useful for leveling. It also gives you a bunch of XP when it activates, which you can't tell because it doesn't give this character much, but like on a new character, it'll give them like almost an entire level. And then you kill these things as well. There is a timer to kill them, but you kill those and you get extra XP as well. So like activating the event at 101 will help you level like insanely fast. I'll probably have a clip of me doing it at 101 just to show it. This is a fiesta when I'm leveling my Nightwalker. It's like 114, so it's an example. But as you can see, I literally jumped from 15% to around 70, and I'm gonna be getting like a level and 30%. So I'm gonna be at 15. I'm gonna level up and get to like 25, 30%. I don't know if these will be in other events, but if they are, then I would definitely recommend clicking the event just to be able to do this and the double XP. Yeah, it levels you up. It does level you up like an insane amount. Okay, so EXP coupons. So you get them from events, daily rewards, Monster Park, and the Legion shop. So we went over Monster Park. We went over the events, the daily shop, or the daily reward. It's right here. It's called Daily Gift. These will have EXP coupons, right? And these ones are transferable, so you don't have to worry. You can just grab them and put them in your storage. The Legion shop, I wouldn't recommend doing this to begin with, but if you have like a decent amount of Legion, probably like around 6k or more, you'll get a decent amount of coins. You can go in here and you can buy these, which obtained EXP is increased by 100%, untradeable. So you have to do it on the character, but there's another way of getting it. Those are like the main ways: Monster Park, Legion shop, daily reward, and events. The next thing is link skills. So with link skills, if you don't have them, it's fine. You can just skip this part. But basically, you're going to go in here to your link manager. And the link skills you want are... the wrong preset. These ones. These are the ones I'm currently using. I do have... So I have a guide for this entire thing. It's like pretty organized, and it has like timestamps that you can just click through and everything. But it'll show like pictures of all this stuff. So you don't have to like, so you can just see it. It'll tell you what character gives you what, like up here. It'll tell you what character gives you each thing. So it's super helpful, but this is what you want. You can pause it here. I'll just go through each one. And you can also refer to the guide and it'll tell you. But basically, you want those. If you don't have them, it's all good. It'll just help you do more damage and everything like that. Legion. So with Legion, I use... Usually what you want is attack, whatever your character's main stat is, crit damage, crit rate, and normal damage. You can do bonus EXP, but the bonus EXP just doesn't give that much. This thing's annoying. Hold on. There we go. The bonus EXP doesn't give that much, so I don't use it. And to figure out your main stat, what you're going to do is basically if you go here, every time you level up, you'll have points to auto-assign. When you auto-assign, see what it goes into, and that's basically what your main stat is. So if you have 5 points and you auto-assign and the 5 go into Dex, most likely Dex is your main stat. Also, you can just tell by which one's usually the highest. You won't be able to tell that right away, but like if we look at mine, my luck is 14k, everything else is 2k or less, right? So obviously my main stat is luck. So that's what you want your Legion to look like. You want it to have attack, you want it to have luck, crit damage, crit rate, normal damage. One big thing about it too is you can just click this to change it to whatever you want to make it easier for you. In the beginning, you will have only this part unlocked, so you can just change them to be next to each other and fill out like 2 blocks. And then eventually start making it look like this, and then you could fill in like whole ones once you get like 6k Legion, 8k Legion. Also, one big thing is if you have a 0. So, zeros, let me find mine. I think it's actually... it's right here. Okay. So zeros, increased EXP obtained by 10%. So if you put them, you want to make sure they're on your board because they'll increase your EXP gain by 10% just by having them on this board. So if you do have a 0, definitely put them on. That's basically it for Legion. It's not super complicated. You can also have a different preset for your main class if this is not your main character. Now leveling. So 1 to 10 is very simple. You can literally just like do the class quest line. It'll get you to 10 in like 5 minutes. There are some classes that like they get stuck in tutorials until level 30. Like the most recent one I did, I don't remember what it is. I think it's a thief class, but it got stuck in a quest line until 30. So if you have a quest line that gets stuck until 30, then you just have to do it. But how I kind of tell that too is you don't get access to this stuff until you finish the quest line. Like on that character, when I was like 11 through like anywhere until 30, I didn't have access to any of these light bulbs. I just had this. If you only have this, it means like you're stuck in a quest line for the character. 10 to 30. So when I farm monsters that are 20 levels above me. This is why the Legion helps, the Budding Sprout helps, the Monster Park potions help, right? Like all this stuff is very, very helpful to do more damage early. So I'm able to farm 20 levels higher, which is just a lot more XP. The Lynx and the Legion help. So if you don't have this stuff, you can still try it. If it doesn't work, just feel free to like use the guide menu. It's pretty like actually accurate to what you want to do. But you could use the guide menu. You could also just stay in the map previous to the map that you can't do. So like once, like if you can't do the like 46 to 51 map, just go stay in the 42 to 46 map until you can do the 46 to 51 map. So the first thing is for 10 to 30, you can either follow the quest line for your job. I don't usually do this because I would rather just like kill stuff and get and level up. I think it's faster than doing quest lines because quest lines are different based on each character, so it's more predictable to just kill stuff. I also think it's faster. The other place I went here to begin with when I was a little weaker is Golem's Temple 4. Which this place is pretty good. You can literally stay here until level 30 if you want to. It's the best one out of all the Golem temples. The spawn is like the best. The platforms are the best and they're the easiest. There's another one that I was doing for a while. I think it was 3. But there's a high platform which is kind of annoying to get to, especially for a lot of early game classes. So I would recommend Golem's Temple 4 until you're 30. My favorite spot though is right here. It's in Edelstein. It's Rocky Road, Baby Boulder Muncher. This spot is the best one to me. They are like, pretty sure they're level 33. Yeah, so they're level 33 right away. So they will be a little harder to kill if you don't have all the Lynx and Legion stuff, but you level up insanely fast here. So I would stay here until level 30. And the reason we do want to be here, like I said this earlier, is when you have a monster at level 30, you get runes, right? And runes, basically what they do is you activate it by hitting, like you go up to it, you hit your interact key, and then you hit the number, or like whatever arrow keys it tells you. And then it'll give you, it'll give you some sort of buff. Sometimes it's like damage, sometimes it's like they drop stuff. There's a bunch of random buffs that help you kill stuff faster, usually. And also it gives you double XP. So it's super helpful for double XP. And that's why these runes are like, these link skills are so important. Like for example, the rune persistence one means that my double XP lasts 70% longer than somebody who doesn't have this, right? So I think it lasts 2 minutes normally, and then it lasts 5 minutes if you have this. So it's super helpful. So I get an extra 3 minutes of double XP, which especially on a new character, it makes a big difference. So this is my favorite spot. I stay here till 30. Once you're 30, you could do the job advancement, your second job. If you do run into a rune before, let's say you run into a rune at like 28 and you still have a minute left on your rune and you hit 30, don't do your job advancement. Just finish the rune out because like you want to get as much of that XP as possible, right? So just wait to finish the rune, or if you have like a 2 times the XP that's going to run out soon, which it shouldn't, you probably should be popping them at like 30. If you have a class that has good movement, like they can go sideways and they can go up easily, then you can could pop an EXP coupon earlier, but I would recommend just doing it at 30. For me, 30's worked really well. I can get like pretty high. And there's certain intervals that I like to get through, like the maps where I'm staying in them for like 20 levels. Those ones I like the EXP coupon just because it gets less tedious if you can speed through those maps. But yeah, if you have good verticality and a lot of EXP coupons, then you can use them if you want to, whenever, like starting at 10. So for 30 to 60, after you get your second job, we're going to be just flat level 30. There's 2 options. So you can either do theme dungeons, which if you go to the guide, the level 30 section, if you're a newer player, I would highly recommend you do theme dungeons. They're going to be more helpful than just farming will be. So if you're a newer player, I would do these. But LNL Ferry Academy, Rihanna Strat, and then Gold Beach Resort, or Rihanna Strait, and Gold Beach Resort. Those are the 3 that you want to do. Basically, they're just little quest lines. They're like not super long. The more you do them, the faster you'll be able to like learn exactly what you have to do, and you'll be able to do it quicker. But they give you rewards, which is really helpful for newer people. It's like all this stuff you will be using and you'll be equipping as soon as you finish it. And they're very helpful for newer players for sure. But it's a small quest line. They're called theme dungeons. And the good thing about it is the mobs follow your level until you hit level 60. So like if you're level 40, the mobs will be level 40. When you level up to 41, they will be level 41. So it's really helpful to just level up, and you always have mobs that are near your level. Usually I was doing all three of these. I did it on like 10 to 12 characters, and I got really sick of it, and I stopped doing it completely. So I just farm now. But I think if you're a newer player, and you're on your first couple characters, and you maybe don't have like all your link skills yet, and like high legion, not even high legion, you probably need like 3K legion. If you're not at that point yet, then I would probably just do it. If you are past that point, you probably don't need to do it no more. But you're gonna use all the stuff you get from it later, so make sure that you keep it and put it all on because it'll probably make you stronger right away. And we're gonna be Starforcing it, which I'll go through later. Usually, also when I would do them, when I do all three, I would get to like 63 or 65 without EXP coupons. So make sure that when you're on the third one and you're at like and you're leveling, once you hit 60, don't do your third job right away. Just finish it to get like 63, 65. I personally, you don't have to do this, but I just like it just for me. Is I'll level when I'm using a character. I'll get to like at least level 62 or 63 before I do the job advancement, just so I can have like 1 point in everything right when I start. Because if you do the job advancement, you're like, let's say 3 for example. I'll get 3 things, so I can only put it into 3 things. But if I'm level 62 when I get this, I can do like 6 things, right? So I just like being able to put a point in everything right away, which probably isn't actually helpful. I just personally like doing it. It's only when I'm like on an EXP coupon or something and it takes like 2 seconds to level. But yeah, so do theme dungeons if you're a newer player, or you're like, if you don't have your link skills completely done for leveling up, and you don't have high legion. If you do, then you can do the farming route, which start at 30 to 35. What we're going to go to is you're going to go to Grandest, you're going to go to Savage Terminal. This map right here, Mr. Hazard's Lair 2. They aren't 20 levels above you for this one. They're 40 and you'll be 30. But this map's pretty good. It is one that has some verticality to it, which if your class doesn't have good verticality, you can just go to like one of the near maps. I think they're a little easier, some of them. Just like one map to the left or right. But yeah, this map's pretty solid. I would recommend staying here from 30 to 35. Once you hit 35, this is also, you get a free pet. So you'll get a little box, and it'll have a little pet, like a 5-hour pet like this right here. You can use that starting at level 30 is when you want to like press it and then make sure that it's out just collecting stuff for you, so you don't have to collect the stuff, right? Mesos and all that. Also, you're gonna want to buy pet food. You could do that at any like normal store. If you won't have this on new characters, but like basically any like store, if you scroll to the bottom of it, it'll have pet food. Just buy pet food. I also keep a bunch in my storage. That's one of the preparation things I forgot. I keep a bunch in my storage just so I can just grab it out there and I don't have to even go to the store, just to make it a little bit faster. But at level 33, so you stay here until 35. At level 33, you get a quest called "Have You Learned About Pets?" which I'm gonna show off real quick. I'm gonna go to my newest character. Yeah, Collie's the character I was talking about earlier. So you get a quest if you go to your light bulb, scroll down. Have you learned about pets? If you accept this, which I'll do it on this character, I wouldn't recommend accepting this right away. But if you accept it, you get a different pet, right? So this pet is actually, it has auto HP and auto MP, which basically means that you can equip it, and you can put HP and MP stuff here. If you have one that does both, you can just put it in here. And you set how much you actually want it to activate at, and then it'll just use your health potions and your MP potions for you. So it's really nice. I would recommend not accepting that quest right away, because you want to get use out of this one first. So once you use your snail fully, it doesn't have the auto HP MP thing, but I would say once you use your 5 hours of the snail, then you accept the quest and you get Puffrum. which is the auto HVMP one. And one of the nice things about it too is it gives you a badge. So this badge you'll probably actually use for a decent amount of time. But it gives you a badge that gives you a little bit extra stat. So at level 33, you just do that. Next, once you hit 35, we were training in Savage Terminal, Mr. Hazard's Lair 2. We hit 35. Once we hit 35, we go to Wild Boarland, which is up here. You're gonna be 20 levels below this, so it probably will be like hard to kill. If you have good links, leaded, and all that, it'll be easier. But we stay at Wild Boarland until 42. And once we're 42, we go to Excavation Intermission area. And so you'll spawn in this spot, kill everything right away, just one time. Because as soon as you get in here, it spawns everything fully, so it's just like a lot of free XP. And then once you kill everything once, just go in here. And this is the actual map we're training at. So we train at these mummy dogs for 42 to 46. So once you hit 46, and it's a pretty simple map, like you drop down, and like you drop down here, and there's a portal right here, you come back up to the top and you do it all over again. It's very simple. Train here until 46. After 46, we're going to the Copper Drake's Silent Swamp. So you're 46, these will be 66. If there's somebody in this channel, just switch channels. Some of the maps are popular, and you will see that there's like a lot of channels that are taken, right? Just keep going until you find one. But this is the same as the other map, so you're gonna kill your floor, drop down, kill your floor, drop down, kill your floor, drop down, and then there's a portal in the middle, takes you back to the top. Just do it over again, right? It's very simple. 46 to 51 is where you're staying here. Once you hit 51, we're gonna go Stairway in the Sky 1, which is in Elnath. It's right here. So you're 51. This will be a level 71 enemy. This is actually one of my favorite maps. This map is great. The spawn on this map is amazing. How I do this map usually is if you have some sort of teleport, I put it up here. If you have some sort of like turreted ability that just like kills stuff, I put it on the top one just because I go on that one the least. But it's pretty simple. You'll find that a lot of these maps you literally just go down killing stuff. Same thing with it. You just go all the way down, kill stuff, and then I drop down on this and it launches you all the way up. I go left. So when you go on that cloud that launches you up, I hold at like right arrow or left arrow, and it brings me more left so I can land on this. If you can't land on it, you can just do like a jump ability to get to the top, like in midair, as long as you have that ability. But we train here 51 to 60. Once you hit 60, you're gonna do your third job advancement, which usually, to do it easily, it might pop up above your head, or it'd say required right here, or like job. It'll say job advancement. Just click that and then do that quest. After your third job, you do unlock two things as well. So if you go here, at level 60, these ones you can get right away. There's two quests. So there's one, have you learned about potential? Just spam until it's done. And then have you learned about bonus stats? It's not anything you actually have to do, but they give you a shoulder and a ring. So you equip the shoulder right away and you equip the ring. It gives you a little more stat. So now at this point, if you've done the dungeons, you'll have a badge, you'll have a shoulder accessory, you'll have a ring. If you did the dungeon, you'll have the dungeon stuff. So you'll have all of this. You'll have these wings, you'll have a fairy mark. You'll have the mask, you'll have the belt, and the earrings and the beach bum. Which is helpful for sure, new player. Again, if you're not new, you don't got to do all this. But we stay here until 66. You do accept that quest once you hit 60, so just accept the have you learned about bonus stats and potential, and then just put those on. We're gonna need them like we will the dungeon stuff for later. Once we hit 66, we are going to outside the west entrance of Ariant. You go to Maple World, Nihil Desert, the one to the left. You're only here for 3 levels, so once you hit 69, we're moving. So you just stay here until 66 or 69. Then we move one up from Ariant. We're on the Meerkats. So the Meerkats, It's a pretty big map. They're constantly spawned, so it's kind of nice because you can just go from one side to the other. This teleports you all the way to the other side. It's kind of nice. It's helpful. This map does require a little bit of verticality. If you're vertically challenged, the top platforms of this one might be a little hard, but usually by third job, every character has some decent amount of it. We stay here till 75, and then we're going to go to authorized personnel only, which is you go into this map right here, and then it's actually this portal right here. It's one of the secret maps. There will be a lot of people that are in this map. It's pretty popular. It is the best place to train. But like as you see, this person 95, they're doing Budding Sprout as well. So it's just same thing. Change channels until find an optimal one. But we're staying here from 75 to 84. And with almost everything in this, you will be 2 levels higher than the thing, right? Or 20 levels lower. So the thing will be 20 levels lower or higher than you. So it might be hard to kill some stuff, but you'll be getting a lot of XP for your level. I'm gonna switch characters just because this one is at 75, so this is where I would start. But like you saw there, I was 75 and I was still like one-shotting stuff. I was 20 levels lower than those, so it is like it's not that bad. Going 20 levels above you. Alright, so once you hit 84, you're at authorized personnel until 84. Once you hit 84, you're going to be getting into burning stages. So I'll go to the map you're going to go to. So at 84, you're going to go to Leafery. You're going to go to West Border. So as you see right here, this burning stage, 40% bonus EXP. So what burning stages are is basically they just give you additional XP. Depending on how popular the map is. So it can go up to 100, it can be at 0, right? If the map is extremely popular, it'll have less. If the map's not popular at all, it'll have more. So like if I go into this portal right here, this area will probably have 100. Yeah, this area's got 100. It's very like this, nobody uses this. It's a little bit like unoptimal because there's a bunch of little platforms. And it's just like kind of long, so it's not the greatest of maps, but it has 100% bonus XP. So if you are in the West Border map and there's like no good ones, like this one's 50, which actually is not bad. You can also find different ones just by changing channel. So if I change channel, it'll tell me what the different one is. So this one's 10%, right? So it's not great. But sometimes when I'm in here and I can't find a good one, I mean, the minimum I'll take is like 40. If you're running like a 2 XP too, I don't take too long to try to find a good map because I don't want to waste my 2 times the XP. But if you go through like, I don't know, 5-10 channels and you can't find a good one, sometimes I will just go into this map down here. Just because every single time I've gone in here on any channel, it's been 90 to 100%, like any time. And you just follow this through and drop down and go through all this, right? So it's like, it's not a bad map, it's just not optimal. But yeah, basically, so burning stages, they come when monsters are level 100 plus. So we want to get to burning stage as fast as possible. That's why we're doing it at 84. So you come here, they're level 100 plus. Any map with level 100 plus will have burning stages, which just gives you more XP for being in the map and killing stuff, right? So it's super helpful. The EXP does go down 10% every 15 minutes. So the longer you're in here, the less XP you'll get. So like if you end up being in one for like 20-30 minutes or something, you could just switch to a different one to just get more XP. But yeah, you want to get to burning maps as soon as possible, ideally 84, because these are 104, so it's like perfect. But we're in here from 84 to 87. Then we're going to be in the Starforcing section. So Starforcing is a whole thing in itself, which I'll go over briefly. Basically, if you open up your inventory, in the bottom right, this red hammer right here, if you open this is where you Starforce. And your items, so like if we see on the left one, I have a bunch of gray stars. On the right one, I have a bunch of gold stars, right? That is what Starforcing is. It's basically upgrading your equipment by adding a star to your equipment. So like, for example, if I use this and I put it in here, it's going to go 0 to 1 star. The success chance is 95%. The failure keep chance is 5%. So you will keep the item. Once you get to a certain star, I think it's 15, maybe 17, you have a chance of if it fails, you will lose the item. But you won't have to worry about that for a while if you're a new player. But like 15 to 17 stars is when it starts happening, and that's what this is for. So if you can click safeguard, it'll, I think, double the meso amount that you have to use to enhance it, but it'll make sure that it doesn't get just like it can't get destroyed if it does fail. So it's super helpful for later on. So yeah, you would level this up, right? So you just click OK. This right here, what that is it's a little mini game thing where if you get it in the middle, it gives you an enhanced success rate. So it's more likely that it'll succeed. The percentages on these are already so high that I just turn that off until around like 8. So once you hit 8 stars, so now I did it twice, it's at 2 stars, right? And it tells you how much it adds. So it adds 2 dex, 2 luck, 5 max HP, 17 defense, right? So to tell you how much it adds, it's super helpful. But certain maps are going to require a certain amount of Starforce. So you see the maps right here that have the star. These are Starforce maps. And it'll tell you at the top, like this one, you see requires 15. The next map we're going to, at level 87, is Skynest 3. You can do Skynest 2 or Skynest 3. Skynest 3 is better. It has just more platforms. So like Skynest 2, it only really has like these 3 right here. It's got the ones that I can see. It doesn't have this one on the bottom right. It doesn't have all the ones on the left. So this one's just better. But like this one is a pretty popular map, so you will probably have to change channel a decent amount for a good burning. If you can't find a good one, maybe just check Skynest 2. But for example, it'll tell you your Starforce here, right? So you only need 5 for this. If you do have Budding Sprout, it gives you, I think, 30. So you won't even need to start Starforcing yet. But if you don't have Budding Sprout, you won't have any, so you'll need to start Starforcing. So you'll open up this menu. I would recommend Starforce the stuff that we talked about. So you should have gotten the shoulder that I told you to get. The have you learned about potential shoulder? All the LNL Fairy Academy stuff. I would Starforce all that stuff because it's pretty cheap to Starforce. So you should be Starforcing like the wings, the bracelet, the fairy mark. You can Starforce these earrings if they're your best earrings, and the mask and the belts. Starforce all of this to 5 because you want to get as much as possible. You need to have the minimum for any map, or else you're just going to do no damage and die. It's extremely fast. So if it's 5, you need to have 5. But the more you have, the more damage you'll be able to do. Up until you see, so you see how my ratio of damage is 120%. It's because I have extra, right? So as you add more Starforce, it'll tell you if you just hover over this how much extra damage. So I'm doing an extra 20% damage just by having more Starforce, right? So it's super helpful. Let me see if there's anything I forgot about Starforce. Again, too, like this guide will tell you everything, right? So it is in the description if you want. You can feel free to just refer back to it as much as you need to. That's basically everything of Starforcing. You can also, one thing too that I did miss is you can put it to a bind. Like enhance equip is the one. So if I just hit F11, it opens it. You don't have to do it, but it is like nice to just have, right? But Skynest 3. So we're starting here at 87. We're staying here to level 100. So you're here for a minute. This is one of the ones that I make sure my 2 EXP goes through because this map, you're here for like a decent amount of levels compared to all the other maps. We're here for like 13, right? And when you do these, they give you increased XP, Starforcing maps, and they also have more health than normal monsters at this level. So it'll be harder to kill them, but they'll give you more XP. And having a 2 XP here, or having it go through this map, you'll level up real fast. I usually like to have I make sure my EXP goes from the authorized personnel only into the Minar Forest West border into the Skynest 3, and I like to get it through all 3 of those maps because those authorized personnel, you're at that place for a little bit too. You're at it for like 9 levels, which is a decent amount. But once you hit 100, there's a couple things that happen. One, you get your 4th job. So if you aren't on EXP, and if you don't have an EXP coupon running and a rune running, just go do your 4th job right away. If you do have EXP running, then we're going to do Zakum. So what Zakum is, Zakum's the first boss you'll be fighting. So you can get to him if you hit the Maple guide and you go to boss content, you can get to him here. Or if you open up the bosses tab, you just move to Zakum. And I think I did it already on this character, so I might just switch characters just to show it. It's a very easy boss. Any character that's level 100, probably like even lower, but you do it at 100. Any character that's lower or that's level 100 can just do Zakum right away. You don't even need the third job or the fourth job. I do it a lot of times with third job. But what you're gonna do is we're gonna go do Zakum real quick. So you're gonna move to boss. And you're going to receive an offering for normal / chaos Zakum. Go through the portal, make sure you click normal. And then we're going to go through here. So what happens here is you get this little orb that you're going to toss off, and then Zakum will spawn. One thing you want to make sure, so if you have just hit level 100 and you're 0%, that's a perfect time to do Zakum. Because he basically gives you 2 levels. So because this character's higher, he won't do that for me, but let's say you were 100, he'll get you to 101 and 100% of 101, right? So you don't want to be like where I'm at right now. I'm at like 74%, because that means I'm going to lose out on like 70% of XP that I would normally get. Again, not for this character, because this character is 162, but when you're lower, when you're 100, he'll give you 2 levels, like guaranteed. So you want to be at like 0%, and if you end up being at like 50%, just finish your level, and then do Zakum once you're at 0. So if you end up being at like 101, 50%, just get to level 102 and then do Zakum. You could do Zakum anywhere from like 100 to 105. I usually tend to do it at like 102, 103 just because EXP coupons, runes, stuff like that, I end up staying longer. But yeah, just drop this. I'll just kill it real quick just to show. So it'll be a little slower, but he drops helmets, he drops branches. He drops 2 very important things too, which I'll show you right now. So if you click this, it'll show you what bosses drop. So he'll drop this eye accessory and this condensed power crystal. These 2 are like, if you get them, just put them on right away because they'll increase your damage. And Starforce them if you need to, but you will have those for a very long time. So I would just recommend just throw them on right away. But he gets you 2 levels. So if you are using a rune or EXP coupon, go to him first, and then finish him before you do your 4th job, and then after that, do your 4th job. One thing as well about this map, so when you're 87, when you're training in this map, from 87 to 100, you're going to be getting level 110 gear from it. You want 1 piece of 110 gear for everything. So like you want a robe, whatever your thing is, shoes, hat, weapon. You want the entire set, right? Of 110 stuff, which you can see the sets on the right. Because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be transfer hammering the 110 stuff. Which transfer hammering, it's the blue hammer instead of the red one. Basically what it is if you have stuff that's within 10 levels, if you're level 119 or lower, it's 20 levels, you can transfer the stuff to new stuff and keep the stats on it. So like, let's say I Starforced, do I have anything Starforced on this? Let's say let me see what works. Okay, so I'll do it with this, right? So I'm just gonna Starforce this once, which it has to be Starforced to work. So if I Starforce that, I can see how this has 1 Starforce on it now. I can transfer it to the thing that's the level 120 thing, right? It takes 1 star off of your transfer, so because it's only 1 star, there's none. But like, let's say I Starforce it one more time. What it'll do is it'll have 1 star. So it takes 1 star no matter when you transfer hammer. So it'll have 1 star on it. But it'll transfer all the stats. If there's potential, it'll transfer the potential. So like you see this one on the bottom doesn't have any. This one does, so it'll transfer that. But we're going to be using our 110 gear, and we're going to transfer them to 130 gear. So you want to get 1 piece of each 110 gear from this place while you're here. So just make sure to do that. Once you hit 100, you're going to do your 4th job. If you have EXP coupons or anything running, you're going to do Zakum first on normal. And then you're going to be probably level like 102 to 105, right? When you're at that point, that is when I start the event, right? Because at 101, you can unlock the event. So what you're going to do, you're going to hit the first one, which is move. And then you'll have like a little thing. You can just spam go through this. You click move. It'll take you here. If you're in this event, if you're in a different one, it'll probably take you to wherever the heck that event's at, right? But I just go to the move thing and then I leave it and come back and then just accept all of the quests for the event. They'll say it, right? So like all these ones say Maple Adventure, Maple Island. Those are the ones you want to accept, right? Like all these. Once you accept that, you unlock the ability to get maple leaves, 1. And 2, you get the fiestas, right? So you're going to be able to get the leaves so you can get double XP coupons. And those are the ones I use from level 100 to 140. And it's another way of getting them that makes it to where you don't have to use the ones that you have. And they're 15-minute ones. You just get them for each character. It saves a lot of double XP and it makes you level a lot faster. So I'd recommend doing that right away for whatever event there is. Just accept the event right away at 101 and then kill stuff until you get the amount of points you need. The stuff has to be near your level, I'm pretty sure, so that's why I'm not getting any. But for you, you won't have to worry about that if you're leveling a character. But you'll just kill stuff until you get like 60, and then or 90, however much you want, however many EXP coupons you want. If the character you're playing you're only going to use until 141, I would recommend just like get enough EXP to get to 141. But if it's a character that you plan on playing after, you can definitely just buy all the EXP coupons and just use them constantly, right? Because you get 5 per day in this event. 5 15-minute ones a day, so it's like an hour and something worth of EXP, which is not bad. But yeah, so 101 is when you start the event as well, or whenever you finish Zakum, and you start farming again, you go make sure you accept the event, do all the event stuff, it'll help you level way faster. So just do the event, and then the next place we're going, so you can go here from 100, anywhere from 100 plus you can go here. It just depends on how strong you are. If you can't do it, it's too hard, you stay at Skynest 3, which is where we're at, until you are able to do it. They have a couple options. The main one I like to go to is Warped Passage. You can go to Warped Path of Time 3 and Forgotten Passage 3. Depending on your character, some of them will be easier than others, just like movement-wise. There's some that are like really long and just 2 platforms. There's some that are like 20 platforms and they're just really far down. I'll show them all just real quick. The main one I go to is Warped Passage, which is down here. So this is the main one I go to. I've been to all of them. I like this one the best. So it's a pretty small map, but it's like they're pretty clustered like all the enemies, right? So if you have an up jump that's high enough, you can literally just like use an ability to kill them if you're strong enough. If you do have stuff that you can put down, like if you're a mechanic or anything, I'd recommend putting them on the top platforms. There's also, so on the left side, there's a portal to get to the top. There probably is one on the right side too. I just don't ever use it. But yeah, this is the map I use. You stay here from 100 to 120, or whenever you can start doing it to 120. Usually, because you do Zakum, I started at like 103 to 105. I'll come here. Like 105 to 120, you're here. You will have to, so a couple things here is the Starforce for this is higher, so it's 28, right? So you're going to have to Starforce your stuff more that you're getting. So that's, again, why all this stuff is really helpful if you're on a new character. Because this stuff, you can Starforce for a lot cheaper mesos. It costs a lot less to do these. So you're going to do this like this, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So this alone is 30 if you do all of the items from this, which means you're already past it, right? Again, you want to Starforce it a little more. Like this is 28. You want to Starforce till you get to 120%, as long as you have the mesos for it. Because you'll just do more damage off the bat. So what I would do is I would do all those items. You're at 30, right? off all those items, and then I would do like my weapon. And also, so if you did the previous tip, which was getting the 110 gear for every piece, once you're here and you hit 110, I would put all that gear on and Starforce all of it as much as, like, to the max. I would literally Starforce it all to 10 stars. So let me see if I can, I don't have 110 gear, I don't think, on any character, but I can just show it with like a character that has less loot. Just so it's easier to comprehend. Like if I go to this character, right? I'm going to just show it with like 140 gear or whatever this character has. Basically, so you'll have, it'll be very similar to this. You will have a set of gear that is like base set of gear. So this is the 140 gear, which you're going to be doing it with this too. But just imagine there's 110 gear here, right? So what you're going to do, the 110 gear will only have 10 stars available. So these have more because they're higher level gear, but there will only be 10 stars for the 110. So you're going to max every piece of 110 gear you have to 10 stars, including the weapon too. As long as you have enough mesos to do it, just make sure that you're doing all of the gear for the set, which again you can see on the right. It says 8th thief set, pencilier stuff. It shows I just don't have the gloves, which actually, oh, I didn't even know there were 2 pencilier sets. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Anyways, so once you're 110 and you have all the stuff, you put it all on. You 10 star all of it. And then that'll make your Starforce really high too, so you won't have to worry for a while. It'll also make your damage much higher, because again, Starforce is literally just increasing your damage, basically. Just giving your stuff more stats, right? So once you're at 110 and you've Starforced all your stuff, you'll be able to also, most likely, if you weren't strong enough, you'll be able to kill all this stuff in Warped Passage. So you're going to do that. And while you're in this map, you're going to do the same thing you did in Skynet 3. So this one will drop 130 level stuff. I think they're called Misspell stuff, which, and I'll see if I can kill some stuff while I'm explaining. But basically, you want to do the same thing where you get one piece of 110 stuff, or you get one piece of each type of 130 thing, so that you can transfer your 110 stuff into 130 stuff, right? What we're going to do ultimately is the level 141 stuff that I just showed, the Pencilier, is the stuff you're going to want to end up with. But you're going to be able to almost max it completely just by transferring from 110. So you're going to go 110 to 130. You're going to go 130 to 140. And then you'll have maxed Pencilier stuff. It'll take 2 stars if you max it, which is fine. 2 stars is like nothing. But it'll, basically it's a faster way of, or it's a cheaper way, it is faster too technically, of getting your Pencilier stuff to 110, so it's super helpful. But yeah, you're here until 120, just get one set of each 130 gear to save. It doesn't even have to be better, like it could be like negative, and it's still fine, because you're not really going to use that stuff. You're mainly doing this to get 140 stuff. So once you hit 120, we're going to go to Elnath. We're going to go to Deadmine. This is a very popular map, Cave of Trials 2. You will be 2 levels or 20 levels below as usual. Or a little less. These are like 134 and 136. But here is a pretty, like, it's just a long map with 2 platforms the entire way. It's very good. There is a portal at the end. So at the top here, there's a portal you can go through. So you just go through, kill them all, go through again. Here you will be getting 140 gear, which is called Pencilier gear. I might have some on me, might not. This is the 130 gear, by the way. It's called Misspell. So you want to save 1 piece of each Misspell gear that you have. And if I'm just going to put it on just to... Okay, I can't put it on, whatever. It'll tell you the set right here on the right, so just make sure you have 1 of each. But we're going to want Pencilier stuff from this one. So once you hit 140, or once you hit these mobs, just get 1 piece. And for this, you want it to be the best piece. So get every piece of Pencilier that you can, and then find the best one. And then just save that one, get rid of all the rest. And what you're going to do is You'll have the 110 piece, right? You'll transfer hammer it. Let's say this, for example. I have a 110 piece of gear. I'm transfer hammering it to the 130 piece of misspell gear. And then once at the 130 gear, I'm transferring it to the 140 gear, right? So you transfer everything from 110 to 130. And you transfer everything from 130 to 140. And then you'll have, at the end of that, you'll have a bunch of Pencilier gear that is 8 starred, and then you can just give it the last 2 stars. So you can make them all 10 star. That's basically it. You stay here until 141. Yeah, this was like a little longer than I expected and in-depth. If you do want, feel free. This will be in the description. This will go over everything. If you do enjoy the video, feel free to like it. Hopefully this was helpful. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to comment them. And if there's anything else that you want me to go over, like any other guide you want me to make or anything like that, I'm a newer returning player. And I'm around like starting the mid game right now. I'm like in the mid game. So if there's any early game stuff, like you're a newer player, I can definitely do some stuff on early game for sure. There's some mid game stuff I know, but yeah. Thank you for watching.